Here's another podcast from the Pod Bros Network.
Welcome, everyone, back to a brand new episode of the Jean Pod Van Dam Cast. It is Jeff and John in studio in beautiful Wyandotte, Michigan. Oh, it's a hot one out there today.
Hell yeah, it's a sticky one.
But we told you a few weeks ago that we weren't having another Van Dam Cast unless news came out or a movie came out or something. But we had to do one for this. We actually, first off, we'll talk about some news and whatnot, but the reason for this episode, number one, we got a new Patreon, a new patron on Patreon. It's so hard sometimes.
I just get
my cues from Tony's.
They call them Patreons.
They call them Patreons.
They're not robots. They're people. Damn it.
That's what I say. This isn't a Will Smith film.
Thankfully.
But yeah, so we decided, hey, we can't just do an episode dedicated to a patron, even though that's pretty cool. But we would go over some Van Dam in the news stuff. And just recently, not too long ago, Elementary Brewing Company names beer after Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a New Jersey brewing company, and they're paying homage to the muscles from Brussels with their new Belgian ale. And this will be the second beer, I believe, that's named after Van Damme after we did our review of, was it Shorts or Cliff? Who did the Van Damage beer?
I can
Shorts?
look it up real quick.
Well, anyway, while Jeff looks that up, Elementary Brewing Company is in Hackensack, New Jersey, and they just unveiled their beer simply called Van Dam. And they have an Instagram. You can check it out. It's basically a beer can resting on a bicep that definitely looks like Van Dam's. So it's interesting. I think we're going to have to try to get a hold of that and taste test it just like we did the last one.
Definitely. It was Shorts. And apparently there's another one from called Van Damage as well from Mondo Brewing Company.
Uh-oh.
It's just
Some
like double
trademark.
impact.
Hey! I was going to say some trademark infringement going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shoot. Where's Mondo at?
Mondo is... It is in England, so...
Oh, yeah, so we're not getting that one. Never mind. That's...
We could do a little road trip.
Yeah, let's do it.
Drive across the pond.
Any of our UK fans that listen to this, let us know.
And send us the beer.
And send us the beer, please. So, yeah, you also saw something, actually, a Van Damme-inspired news story, right?
I did. Recently at, at Fight Night 155, a UFC featherweight, Ryan Hall, in a fight won via decision using several Van Damme-inspired spinning kicks, and they look just amazing. Like, honestly, it's right out of Kickboxer. Or any Van Damme movie, actually.
Yeah, you can find the GIF on Twitter, I think it was.
From Keep It Saucy MMA. You can also find it on ProMMAnow.com. The event was on July 15th, and it is definitely worth a quick look.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's a fun GIF.
It's beautiful.
You got to see it. And last but not least, for those that care where Van Damme is vacationing, which apparently is newsworthy, Van Damme is in Bodrum, Turkey.
Bedroom Turkey?
Bedroom Turkey, yeah.
I have had several bedroom turkey dinners, yes.
Yeah, usually it's post-Thanksgiving, but yeah, this time around. That's where he's at, and that's kind of it, though, for the news.
He's filmed in Turkey before, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think he's...
Has he filmed everywhere in the world?
Yeah, pretty much so.
Everywhere except for North Korea, I think. Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised, too. I wonder now with our relations with North Korea if he'll film there.
Relations in Cuba deteriorate and get better in North Korea. It's a wacky world we're living in.
Yeah, it's like a Van Damme film.
It really is.
You never know what's going to happen.
He's riding a stealth boat over there as we speak.
Blackwater-esque. It's going to...
Hell yeah. So who do you think would win in a race, like a boat race, between the stealth boat from Street Fighter and Thunder from Thunder in Paradise?
A boat race?
Mm-hmm.
Thunder's pretty fast, man.
Yeah, and it can talk.
And yeah, I think I might have to go with Thunder.
I reluctantly concur.
Is it because you have to agree with me? Or is it because...
No.
So yeah, big news for us, and a gigantic thank you to Dave, who
made our
pledged,
day.
Yes, he really did. He pledged $1 to our Patreon. He unlocked that super secret episode. I hope Dave hears it, and I'm really hoping that this is not coincidence, but it's the same. Oh, it's actually, it might not be the same Dave. We might have had two Daves. I don't know. Dave and Dave. So we also got an awesome email as well. So number one, thank you to
Dave
for being a patron. I can't thank you enough. And then number two, thank you to Dave for sending us a great
heartfelt
email, which I hope he doesn't mind if I read this on air, because like this just made our day. Dave is from Long Walk Short Drink, another podcast. He co-hosts it, and I believe he says he produces it as well. So
man of many hats, every
right.
podcaster.
Yep, you got to do what
Except
you
for
got to
me.
do. Except for you. You're just here for the yuck yucks. So Dave actually took time not only to write us an email, but to also let us know that he wrote us a terrific review on iTunes. And thank you so much for doing that, especially at a time where people just don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard. It's like pulling teeth to get someone. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I mean, everyone's like, oh, and just put down the stars. And, oh, they want me to put words down. Oh,
yeah, I know,
next
right?
time.
All right. Well,
this
good.
I like.
Yeah.
Why use more word when fewer word do trick?
Yep. Or in the case, sometimes you get people who just say Big Dick Damon on your Accidental Wrestling Fan podcast and 5 stars. That's it.
Perfectly
That's
acceptable.
All, yeah. I mean, hey, it gets us there, right? So anyway, well, I'll just, in case I don't want to embarrass Dave or anything, so I'll just read what he wrote for our review anyway. So you should be able to see that on iTunes anyway. So Dave said, though I just discovered this podcast, I've already listened to 21 episodes in just under a week. Ooh. I'm late to the party here, but as one twin says about the other in Double Impact, my brother hates parties, man. I'm delighted to have found such a treasure trove of Van Dam delights. Your enthusiasm for JCVD is so refreshing. I love the splits rating, as well as the running counts of titular line references in the dialogue, headbutts, groin attacks, splits, Van Dam ass shots, and grunts. I really appreciate the dedication on display, as I see episodes also dedicated to non-JCE starring sequels and tangentially related releases.
Excellent
One day
word.
I'll get that. I'll be able to enunciate that correctly.
Tangentially?
Tangentially.
Tangentially.
Tangentially. Tangentially.
Just
There it goes.
hold out the
Oh,
Italian.
yeah, right.
Tangentially. All right.
Tangentially.
There
Yeah.
goes our large part of our international audience.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching them so we don't have to. In addition to being a podcast listener, I'm also a podcast producer. The show I co-host, Long Walk Short Drink, did an episode, number 13, centering on my love for the muscles from Brussels. And how's this for coincidences? The Jean-Pod Van Damme cast episode on Cyborg was released the exact day we recorded ours. Crazy to think 4 guys from the Midwest were talking about the same JCVD flick from 30 years ago at so near the same time. As Jeff often says, hell yeah, to which Fender would say, of course, been there.
Fantastic.
So Dave, thank you so much. And I the only reason why I think this might be 2 Daves is because they were different last names. So unless it's one of those where it's kind of like someone I know who portrays a different character than what his real last name is.
Is that, who is that?
I don't know. I don't want to call him out on air. It's not Jeff Jefferson though. So yeah, that made my weekend. It really did. That was awesome. And we just had to take, even though we were on break from JPVD, we had to make sure that we got this episode out to say thank you to our patron, because that's a part of our deal. You pledge $1, you unlock that super secret episode, and you also get a shout out on here. And we care about you guys so much, and thank all of you that honestly help keep things going. And so for only $1, you could get the same episode, and we'll also talk about Van Damme vacationing. Other than that, I mean, just to give you a quick update on how everything else is going with Rage in a Cage and Every Damn Wrestling, and why you guys haven't seen or heard anything. It's
part of a big scam.
Yeah, it totally is.
We're trying to get some money out.
It's all a part of the Area 51 thing, and well, you know, they cracked our code. I thought we were as good as the Wind Talkers, but obviously not.
Mm-mm.
And they were like, "Oh, podcasters."
That's what I say.
Now we are podcasting from Area 51, actually, in the building. But
next to the guy who played Data in Star Trek.
Yep. But yeah, Rage in the Cage and Every Damn Wrestling are still going, and I haven't had the time to actually sit and edit them. So they're the downside.
Sitting in the can.
Yeah,
but they're there.
They're there. There's, I think,
we're up to
6 or 7,
episode 470 on each one, right?
Yeah, yep. More episodes than
there are appearances.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
We've actually hypothesized other movies I could possibly do and reviewed them in advance.
Yeah, it's pretty much just fan fiction at this point.
Erotic slash fiction, actually.
Yeah, right. So that's where it really gets. Around episode 273, it really takes a turn. So
an erotic turn.
Yeah, there's talks about podcasters in it, and
podcasters that are handsome and save the world.
Exactly, and they storm Area 51, get caught and sit next to Data, and then Mark Zuckerberg shows up. Anyway, no, we as we wait for new Van Damme films and news and television, whatever, we've been doing that, but real life's actually just been crazy busy as well. It's got this professional job that I have that I actually have to go to work, and that's what really pays the bills, not this. So
one sweet day.
Well, yeah, right. That'd be nice. But yeah, no, I love my job anyway, but it's so busy, and I haven't had any really break from it. So when I get home from it, I don't want to really do anything else. But yeah, Rage in a Cage and Every Damn Wrestling are sitting there, and I want us to get a few more episodes recorded before
maybe up
I
to
actually
like 10.
Yes, yeah, I want to get 10 each, and we're on what will be episode, I think 7 or 8 right now.
Wow.
So yeah, we're almost there for each one. That's pretty good. Also, we'll be getting started on our Spooktacular stuff too.
Hell yeah.
And
with a possible special involving fake blood.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Is it?
Yeah. Pretty excited about that. So we'll see how that goes.
There's a really good song about fake blood.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. It was on the Syphil and Ollie show. Did you ever watch that?
Oh, my gosh. That's a reference. Like, holy crap. How many people would get that reference?
I'll see if I can find it on YouTube. And,
yeah, please do. So anyway, that's it from us. Thank you so much as we talked about our fan fiction.
Hell yeah. And fake blood.
And we'll keep you updated as well. Follow us on Damncast. I don't think I'm going to make any Twitter handles for Rage in a Cage and Every Damn Wrestling. We'll probably just say follow Damncast, because that's what spawned it anyway. So check that out. Dave and Dave, thank you guys both so much.
If you're different people.
If you're the same person, I think that's pretty cool too, though. Maybe it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Oh, scary.
I know, right? Oh, also, we might actually do a crossover with Dave.
That would be great.
The podcast. So,
do you know where in the Midwest he is?
No, I don't. I need to sit down and actually check out his podcast along with everyone else. That Long Walk, Short Drink, I think, is the name of it. Hopefully I didn't butcher that.
That's okay. We butcher our own names sometimes.
All the time. I couldn't say Spooktacular for the life of me. Yeah, Long Walk, Short Drink.
Hey, so, you got it.
Yeah,
see, you can
I can do
name
other
people.
I can't name my own damn podcast.
It's because you're so humble.
Yep. So anyway, thank you all so much. Also, if you want to support us, don't go to Amazon anymore. Ever.
For anything.
Don't buy anything from them. They left us. They abandoned us.
They make you wear a diaper.
Yeah, man. They were like the Bolo Young of the Van Damme universe, and they killed our parents.
They did, and then they threw steel drums at us.
Separated us, so we could never meet each other again. So anyway, check out TeePublic, though. They're like our
bodyguard that raised us.
Yeah, or our Ray Jackson, too.
Yeah.
Right? So that's TE.pub/LIC/podbros. And I got to put some new shirts and whatnot up on there. We've been kind of slacking.
Yeah.
There's the cool Kapowcast shirt every month.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been basically it. And
let me get on MS Paint and see if I can.
Oh, I know. I need to again, man. I had a sweet kickboxer. I think I mentioned this. I actually had a very throwback kickboxer boxer homage.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, TeePublic was saying that my dimensions weren't accurate, even though they were. And so I just was like, I have to redo this whole thing again.
That's sad.
Yeah. So it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and so I stopped right when I started. So we're gonna put some new shirts up and hopefully go from there. So we'll see. Okay, that's it. All right, I'm done. I feel like this is the update episode. Thank you all for listening. I'm John.
And I'm Jeff.
You've been listening to another episode of the Jean-Paul Van Damme Cast. All right, quick. Now let's get back to our fan fiction. So there they were, Jeff and John the podcasters, ripped, shirtless, bound and gagged. The terrorists were about to win when all of a sudden, who burst through the door? Jean-Claude Van Damme, Kurt Russell, and Nicolas Cage, also shirtless and rugged. Wrong bet.
It's like you read my mind.